Chaotically Nerdy is made by nerds for nerds. This podcast is made by adults for adults and children with bad parents. Adult language will be used and adult situations may arise. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chaotically Nerdy. On today's episode is me, Tyler.
And me, Jarrett.
And
me, Ethan. Yeah, I'm here this time.
he finally decided to show up. So if you listen to the Mandalorian episode, you'll notice that there was only two of us.
Yep.
Because somebody was asleep.
And it was a good meal.
I like that because I said you were asleep, and then you immediately said that was a good meal. It seems like
If you don't know what that means,
you had sleep for dinner.
you're too young for this podcast.
If you're listening to this podcast and you're under the age of 40, you're probably too young for this podcast.
There's not a single person in this room who is 40 or over.
You're pushing the line.
I am. Not that close. 7 years.
Close enough.
6.5. Sorry.
So if you've listened to us before, you've heard us do Fancast. We've actually decided to do this Fancast before it was announced.
Yeah, this was an idea I had last year at some point.
End of last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, roughly. So we're going to do Harry Potter. So HBO Max has picked up, did they say how many seasons?
7.
Okay, so they're going to do it
That's
full
what
seasons.
they said. Book a season.
Yep. They're going to do 7 seasons of the Harry Potter show. I don't know how I feel about it because
You're very on remakes.
I am. I'm very on beating a dead horse. I want some new content.
Well, the problem I have with it is that the cast for the original one was so good. Like, it was almost perfect in almost every way.
Mm-hmm.
That is a problem I have as well.
Some of those people are the characters to me.
Yeah. Not a problem, but a reservation.
But I feel like sometimes it's good. It's very rare that it's
In this situation, because there's
comparable.
So many departures past like the first 2 movies that they had, they didn't have enough time for a movie, a single movie to get all the plot points for every book.
Yeah.
There's enough. I feel like there's a good enough justification here to remake it.
I feel like Warner Brothers is also really bad at committing to like a longer time span for like a single movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like they'll like cram it into those 2 hours or less.
It has to be under 2 hours.
Yeah. And you get movies like we talked about, our rankings and talked about Harry Potter before, but for like the 5th movie,
Yeah.
it feels like it's on fast forward the whole movie.
It's the longest book and the shortest movie, technically.
And they got more of the book in the show, but it just felt like it was going too fast.
Yeah.
And there's stuff they have to cut out just for the time that I would love to be in there.
And it's not necessarily that I'm against remakes.
That's what I said. You're iffy on them a lot of times.
I'm iffy on them, and it just seems like they play fucking Harry Potter every year.
They do, but
Every year around Christmas time, it's on TV constantly. And so
The question is, how are you going to get that same feeling of the world, the Chris Columbus, John Williams feel into the world?
yeah.
It's difficult.
Well, it's going to be a weird, it's going to be a weird transition because there's a lot of people, even young kids, that will have seen Harry Potter before because it comes on so often, or their parents are super into it, and then they're going to have to watch this new series, and it may, for even them, having watched it before, they may feel the same way that you do, that those characters are, or those actors are that character.
Well, it's something I've talked to my dad about a lot. He's a math teacher at a high school, and he says that they just don't get the references to Harry Potter.
yeah. So it's like this could introduce Harry Potter to
Now,
an entire new generation.
I feel like a lot of the younger kids are going to get it because more of their parents were into it, but
There's a generation in between.
There's
Gen
a
Z
yeah.
thinks Harry Potter's stupid in
it's
general.
they feel like it's old.
Yeah,
And
because it's not cool because it's a millennial
that's
thing.
what I think. That's what the new series is aiming at: is a whole generation that's just not enjoying Harry Potter like we did.
But I think they're doing it too soon.
I mean, dude,
Even still, because Lucas loves it. He's 10. And he'll talk
Yeah, but he's of the next generation.
But that's what I mean,
Yeah.
is that they're going to miss... If they would wait one more generation, they would probably have a more newer viewership.
But by
possible.
that point, nobody might not care. People might not care about Harry Potter anymore by that point. We're still, right now, you still have our generation in there with their buying power and stuff that can buy merch and all this stuff that's like, we're at our peak, I guess I would say, of our generation right now. Like we're all in our 30s or whatever. And then you have...
God, this is my peak?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Where you can introduce it to your kids and stuff. If you wait another generation, you'll have Gen Z being in their 30s or whatever, and they don't give a shit.
If you can sell it to them while they're still like really young adults and teenagers, you can sell it again.
You hook them for
another 25 years from now to that generation that isn't into it.
And also, I don't know exactly how soon that this is going to come out.
Yeah, we don't.
They just announced that they have no time frame.
They've announced that they're going to do it. So, and we haven't seen anybody that's going to be actors for it or anything. Hell, they probably haven't even started casting yet.
My best guess would be 2026.
I would say 3 years, 6.
Somewhere in that time range. And if you're 2026, I would wait till 2027 and get to the 30-year mark of Sorcerer's Stone coming out.
Yeah.
Make a big, like,
that may be what they do.
Maybe that's maybe what they're aiming for.
I have a problem.
Or at least when they release it.
Yeah.
They may release it
like
around then.
like they did the movies correctly because they made them in the time frame that they needed to be made to keep the kids at the same age that they are. Mm-hmm. I think the
About 10
problem
years.
with making a series is it's going to span out longer time.
I mean, it could. They seem like they were committed to having it in about the same amount of time, about 10 or 11 years.
I don't believe in them.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's who knows, but like you need about 10 or 11 years in there to get your 7 seasons.
Yeah. Roughly.
Yeah. I'm just
Probably.
saying get ready for recasts.
I mean, there might have to be.
I feel like it.
We had that. They had that in the movies too, where they had to recast an occasional actor here or there that would like
Name a major one.
Tom Riddle,
Well, yeah.
young Tom Riddle. They had to recast him.
Yeah.
Like it's.
But they were also way different ages.
Yeah, but
when
they'll have
they
to
were
be
on screen. One was like 17, 18, 19. The other one was 11, 12, 13. And then you don't have adult Tom Riddle. You have Voldemort.
Yeah.
saying that there will probably be those types of recastings or additional castings that they'll have to adjust as you go on.
That's fair.
So let's jump into the actual fan cast. So we did all UK actors because this was Jarrett's stipulation. They have to be UK actors, which fucked me hard.
I feel like, especially now knowing that JK is going to be involved in some capacity, that's her rule. She wants all UK actors.
Yeah. I mean,
That is her rule.
I understand it.
Well, it's much easier to do an accent if you already speak in that accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just really, it hit me hard because I don't know anybody that's UK.
You actually do. You just don't
I
know
know
they're UK.
I know more people than I thought.
Yeah.
I just didn't know they were UK. Whereas I would have just picked people that, to me, look the part and could probably pull it off.
tried to do an additional rule for myself is nobody from the original movies.
Well, yeah.
I did not do that rule because knowing they're going to try to milk this, they're absolutely going to use somebody. They're going to use multiple.
that.
They're going to use as many as they can get. I would all but guarantee that.
I don't know. I feel like
Guaranteed.
I feel like
Well, a lot of the adults are
too old now,
or they're dead.
or they're dead.
Yeah.
But they're going to take some of the kids and
Yeah.
like the guy that played Neville, he's absolutely going to be in that fucking movie.
I would
Or show.
figure.
He's going to be in the show. Guaranteed. He will be a fucking teacher. Because he's not acted in a lot since then. And people recognize him as Neville and will be like,
Since he wasn't on the list, I would peg him more for a Xenophilius Lovegood.
yeah,
I just feel like they might use
they're
him.
going to. They're absolutely going to. They're going to use somebody. Probably multiple people.
I don't know.
If I had to guess, Rupert Grint and the guy that plays Neville will be my two that I would think.
I don't
Bill
I don't
Weasley.
see.
I could see Bill Weasley being used. He's still popular.
Sure. I feel like they're going to try and differentiate as much as possible. That would be the smart way to go. Differentiate.
I agree. That would be the smart way to go. But
Don't bank on this level of nostalgia for these actors when they're not going to be playing the same characters. Now, if it's playing the same character, like there's like Warwick Davis, if they want,
I don't think they're going to be playing the same characters. Yeah. They're going to recast them into new characters, characters. That's
something like that. If they want Warwick Davis to play Flitwick, I'm fine with that. Like, who the fuck else are you going to get to play Flitwick? It's fine.
I get that. They're going to beat a dead horse and then use it. Like, hey, we got your old actors. Come watch it so that you can see.
I don't want to have anything to do with it. So
I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but I really only know 2 dwarf male actors, and that's
Warwick Davis
and Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Vern Troyer's dead.
Yeah.
So.
But it'll be interesting. So let's jump into it. Obviously, we said UK actors, so these are all going to be actors from the UK. And we did not pick the kids because they're just going to be some kid unknown actors. Yeah, I mean, that's what they did for the movies.
Almost guarantee that they will pick unknown actors for this because
I mean, they can't not for the most part. Yeah. So we're going to do the teachers first. Mm-hmm. We're going to see how far we get time-wise.
We might get all the way, but we'll see.
We might. We might not. It may be 2 episodes. Who knows? So first up is Mr. Albus Dumbledore. Jarrett.
So I have 2 choices. It's just kind of like, do you want to go a little bit younger, a little bit older, just so we don't have another Richard Harris situation where an actor dies in the middle of it. It just kind of depends. Both of them are from Game of Thrones. Liam Cunningham, who plays Sir Davos Seaworth, and James Cosmo, who plays Yeor Mormont.
Okay.
They would both be fantastic.
I think
I like Liam better.
I like him to be a bit more of the kind, charming Dumbledore. Like, that's quirky and weird.
So the book Dumbledore.
But there's also like a part of Dumbledore that's like super serious and like
kind of scary.
Yeah. That I like James Cosmo could just like nail because he's like super intimidating.
I think he could pull more of that. I think he could do more of the Richard Harris thing than what you think he can, too.
Yeah. Oh, it's me. I also picked somebody from Game of Thrones. Can you figure it out? We've already talked about it. I'll give you a hint. He dies in the books.
He dies in the book.
I'm not talking about Game of Thrones. I'm talking about Dumbledore dying. So.
Oh, Sean Bean. That's right. I remember.
The Beanster. I just love Sean Bean.
He's like almost like at the right age too.
He's not far off.
No.
I have trouble viewing him in a long beard though. Never seen it. Like a short beard, yeah, but
Bobby Town.
Yeah. I could see it though.
All right, who you got?
I like continuity, so Jude Law.
Fair enough.
I liked him as young Dumbledore.
Yeah.
I think they could age him up well. I just also have trouble seeing him in a long beard.
So you're like, I want to see it.
I do want to see it. I think it would be really good. Also in a purple robe.
So join our Discord. Send Ethan screenshots of somebody photoshopping a Dumbledore beard, and
I don't want no like cheap like Velcro beard.
It's understandable. You want it to look good. So
look good.
Next up is Snape. Jarrett, it's you again, bud. You guys are going to fucking hate my pick.
No, I'm not. I saw it a minute ago.
I picked Tom Sturridge, who's from... hang on.
It's funny that we've all talked about, like we have all shared these picks beforehand, but we haven't... was like months ago that we like talked about it. So.
He plays Dream in Sandman. The main character of Sandman.
Never seen it.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch Sandman. I'm sorry. I have no problems with it.
I watched a couple of episodes. He has like the whole like Snape vibe down.
Gotcha.
Just of like
quiet, dark, menacing.
To a degree, but Snape. Okay, so you got to differentiate your Alan Rickman and your Book Snape. Book Snape's way more emotional and like flies off the handle.
Yeah,
he's really more of a douchebag.
Yeah. Where Alan Rickman just played him way more like stoic and monotone.
Yeah, and then but Book Snape is more of like Captain Incel.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah.
And next up is you, Ethan.
I think because I have written down Cucumber Patch because for one very, very specific reason, I think it's highly likely for it to be the case.
Sure.
try to get a big name to really drag in anybody that you're not dragging. I also put in the cucumbers. So
I have cucumbers in another spot.
I think I think I remember us talking about this. I think I know where
you have it.
Yeah.
I think so too, but I don't remember.
I don't want to ruin the surprise.
No.
And then we'll go to Minerva McGonagall. Ethan, start us off, bud.
I have written down Fiona Glascott.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who that is though now because I wrote this down so long ago.
Your brain is.
It's easy to do. It's been 2 months.
I just woke up. Okay. All right. Let's look at.
She is from Julia. That was the first one that popped up. Fantastic Beasts. She plays Minerva.
Yeah,
So
that's what I was. It was a continuity thing. Yeah, I wanted her to play it again.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I remember that now. All right.
And then it's me, and this is where I start dragging from the old movies. Helena Bonham Carter. She was in the old movies, wasn't she?
As McGonagall.
Yeah, she was Bellatrix, right? Okay. I get what you're saying, but
She's just way too weird and quirky to play McGonagall to me.
she doesn't have to be weird and quirky though.
I bet she is.
It's called acting for a reason.
No.
I think we had that same conversation before.
Yeah.
I'll pass.
No.
Jarrett, you're up.
Wrong.
I picked.
You see what I said about on the last episode with the.
It's not my fault. You're wrong.
I picked Lady Galadriel herself, Kate Blanchett.
Gotcha.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
Tyler.
Then next up is Hagrid. Jarrett, you're up.
So I just went on a real heavy Game of Thrones.
Oh, I picked the Game of Thrones person too.
Yeah. Well, it's only not that because it's the most popular show that casts 95%
Right.
UK actors. So
And they're popular.
any popular or up and coming actor was probably on the show. I picked Bobby B himself, Mark Addy.
I can see it. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Bow your shits.
He's just yelling at the fucking hippogriff.
Would
No,
laugh.
the children.
I would laugh so goddamn hard.
I would.
That fits though because he's like a drunk.
Yeah.
And Hagrid's like a drunk.
Kind of.
In the books.
It's
kind of.
not stated.
It is stated in the books.
Not explicitly that he's a drunk. He goes
He's drunk all the time in the books.
Not all the time. Just
He literally has a flask.
just some of the
He's
time.
an alcoholic.
Some of the time he's in.
He's not even really Hagrid. He's somebody else. It was you.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I wanted somebody big and dumb and funny and very popular. Nick Frost.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
So I'm up next. I picked Christian Nairn. He played Hodor.
Yeah.
He's big enough.
He is big enough.
Yeah, he's big enough. He's got some giant blood in him.
God damn it. And then next up is Sybil Trelawney. Ethan, you're up.
I got Kate Beckinsale.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And if you don't know who that is, you should go watch
Look it up.
Underworld. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's fantastic.
Well,
It's on the borderline of being bad. It's like on that fall over, that waterfall.
If you like sexy ladies in leather, it's the movie for you.
Yeah. I think it's a fun movie. I think those are fun movies.
They're fine.
They're okay.
And Kate Beckinsale is rather attractive. Mm-hmm. So, to put it lightly.
Jarrett, you're up.
I picked Gillian Anderson. Which one was she? Mulder or Scully from X-Files? She's actually British. You didn't know that, probably. Can't remember which one.
I can never remember which one either.
But she was in a show on Netflix called Sex Education, where she plays a fucking weird sex therapist as a parent. It's weird.
Okay. It's weird enough.
She's a good actress too.
She's so good.
Yeah, she's really good.
Okay, so I'm up next, and I picked Rebecca Mader, who I just had to look up because I wrote down what she was from, and I was like, I have no idea what she's from. She's from Lost and Once Upon a Time. I know her from Once Upon a Time.
Exactly what she is now.
She is the evil witch.
Yeah.
In Once Upon a Time.
I could see.
She's got the look.
Yeah.
As far as acting, I don't really know about all that, but and then Professor Quirrell is next. I don't like my pick.
I hope you're first.
Yeah, be first.
Nope, Ethan.
I got Riz Ahmed.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
He's got Riz on it.
Riz Ahmed.
From the Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
Venom.
I'm hearing.
I know who he is.
Yeah.
He's in Rogue One.
Yeah.
I can't get over it. My brain is hearing Riz, Rizz, on it.
Riz Ahmed.
Ah, got it.
Riz Ahmed.
Cool. Oh, fuck. Oh, God, it ran away.
Me.
Where'd it go?
It's under your chair.
Okay, well, it's you. Get it then. Get it, son.
I will pick Andrew Scott, who was Moriarty in Sherlock.
He would be good.
Limited series.
Yeah, he's really creepy.
He's really creepy. We just need, because he's got to deliver a somewhat big monologue at the end of that show.
He's really good at that too.
So let's pick a guy who can actually do a big giant
Also,
monologue.
if you haven't seen Sherlock, go watch it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It wasn't you. It was supposed to be me. It was a 3.
Well,
Was it-
you're
it looked like
last.
a
We
5.
saved the worst.
No, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It looked
Thomas,
like a 5.
Thomas Brody Sangster.
Who's that?
He's one of the kids from Game of Thrones.
Jojen from
Jojen?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or the kid from Love Actually, whichever
Or
one you
Maze
recognize.
Runner, if you've seen that.
Or Maze Runner, yeah.
I don't know why I picked him. This was probably one of those that I seen he
think
was a UK actor and was like, I'm picking him.
I could see it. He looks so fucking young. He's like he's like our age, but he looks like he's still like 18.
Yeah.
It's weird.
He looks like a child. And then next up is Gilderoy Lockhart. Jarrett, you're up.
I don't know why you're laughing about it.
I'm just laughing
Okay.
because of my pick.
Oh. I'll pick somebody who's
I remember us talking about it, my pick.
somewhat popular right now with him being in The White Lotus and The Time Traveler's Wife, Theo James.
Okay.
I feel like he's a relatively handsome man. I feel like he could portray that condescending celebrity type.
I'm better than you type.
Yeah.
You have to really go for that for Lockhart because that's what he is.
Yeah, he's such a douchebag.
Jarrett.
I'm Ethan.
Ethan, you're
Yeah.
up.
I don't think it's likely, but Tom Hiddleston, because I think he would perform well in the role. I don't think it's likely though, but I think he would do well.
Yep. And then I picked Dan Stevens. He's from
Legion,
Yeah, Legion is
Beauty and the Beast.
He's the main one from Legion.
Oh, okay.
What was it?
He was in like a We talk about this every time that we mention Dan Stevens.
The Guest.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's The Guest. It's a horror movie that he acts like extremely confident in himself.
Oh,
He could totally pull off like a douchebag.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, he could pull
probably.
it off. He pulled it off in The Guest.
Yeah.
Next up is Lupin. Jarrett, you're up. So it's been so long since I've made this. The reason why there's such a long pause between the role and who I pick is I look at whoever I'm picking and I go, okay. I have to come to terms with my pick each role.
This is probably one of those bits of casting where I'm like, people really want him in this role, so probably not going to happen, but it might. I'm going to pick Amazing Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield. I feel like he could play that grungy, scruffy.
Yeah. I feel like, though, here's the problem. While Remus, I'm trying to think of how to word this. I feel like Remus isn't as happy-go-lucky as Andrew Garfield is.
Yeah, but Andrew Garfield can also play like a depressing.
I've never seen him play a depressing person.
Social Network. He's really depressing in that.
he's in tons of stuff. He plays tons of various roles, but a lot of them are more comedic.
Yeah.
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 You also got to have a little bit of like.
I believe I've seen
Lupin-
him in stuff where he was.
I
playing
guess I'm-
serious
Lupin has a
roles.
bit of levity to him sometimes.
I guess I'm thinking of like Spider-Man 2 as his like most amazing Spider-Man 2 as his most depressing
No,
role.
it could be a really sad version where he's like two sides of the coin, like a werewolf thing, where he's trying to be that way, but really he just comes across as really sad.
Yeah. Oh, it's me. I picked Jamie Campbell Bower.
Vecna.
Yep.
That would be good. I think he could do it, but he's a
Yeah.
little young.
No, he's not.
No.
He's like 40.
He
Yeah.
looks young.
He looks young, but he's
does.
like 40.
And that's just makeup.
Them good looks. Yeah.
It's not always makeup.
Well, I mean, you can use makeup to make him look a little older.
Yeah.
Put some bags on his eyes. Eh.
I tended to go because canonically, if we're going with the canon, they're only supposed to be like in their early 30s.
That's why I picked him.
So but generally, Sirius and Lupin both look a little bit older because of
the hardships of life.
The hardships that they have been through.
Yeah.
So therefore,
one's a werewolf and the other one's been in
prison.
Jail.
In soul
Hell.
prison.
Yeah.
Hell prison.
For 12 years. So like if our picks end up being in their like early 40s, it's like it's close enough.
Yeah. Ethan, you're up.
James McAvoy.
Oh,
I could see that's a good pick.
Yeah. That's just a no-brainer if it come up, but I don't think they're going to want to pay him for it.
And then next up is Alistair Moody. It's me. I picked Domhnall Gleeson.
Yeah.
I feel like he's a bit too pretty. he's a bit too pretty. Like I want Moody to be like ugly and scarred and
well,
like
his dad is a fair bit more rough around the edges than
his dad
he
looks spot on. You're like,
Yeah.
yep, totally.
Ethan.
Andy Serkis.
Oh, this is what we agreed on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Andy Serkis.
Yeah, he would kill it.
Oh, he would be so good.
Especially, I feel like we wrote this after seeing him in Andor.
Oh yeah.
Probably. And then next up is Umbridge. Oh fuck. It's me. I picked Natalie Tenya. But I have question marks because I'm like, I don't really.
No.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody that I've seen act that I have a hatred for as much as I hate Umbridge. So it's like I couldn't adequately place somebody. Jarrett.
I picked Alex Kingston. She was in Doctor Who. A couple episodes of The Flash. Plays Snow's mom.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But similar. It's kind of hard to find like. A lot of people don't like playing these like super villainous, like evil,
because they don't
shitty
like
roles.
They don't like the hate that they're going to get for it. Understandably,
They also don't like getting like pigeonholed into playing villains.
But I feel like Alex Kingston could do it. Like it's not that hard to be a bit of a cunt sometimes.
Yeah, it's true. Ethan, who you got?
I've got Brenda Blethyn. She was from Pride and Prejudice and A River Runs Through It. But that's what she looks like.
She's got the looks.
And she's a great actress. She works with Masterpiece Theater a lot. So she's got the background for acting and stuff in English, but she's not just overly well known, but she's a really great actress. So
yeah. We just did Umbridge, right? Mm-hmm. Horace Slughorn is up next. It's me again. Why does it keep being me? I picked Tim Roth. Couldn't tell you who the fuck Tim Roth is. I have question marks next to it, so obviously
It's the Abomination, isn't it?
yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
I was like trying to remember. Sounds familiar.
I'm like 95% sure it's the Abomination. He's good. I feel like he's just a bit too skinny.
You can gain weight. They've got probably 4 years to do it.
Yeah, there's a level of weight that's dangerous to put on.
Fucking Christian Bale does it all the time.
Yeah, and he's probably gonna die early.
Probably. In, you're up, bud.
Hugh Bonneville.
That sounds like a made up name.
Nope.
It's not.
I have him somewhere else.
He's in so many things. The World War II movie about saving art. He was in that.
He was in Paddington.
Monument Men. He was in that. He was in Downton Abbey. Paddington. But he's got that like aristocratic type vibe about him and the way he talks that I think would go well with Slughorn.
Gotcha. Then Jarrett, you're up.
I pick Stephen Fry.
What could be wrong with that?
Nothing. I just feel like he's the right general size of like.
I'm kind of mad I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Slughorn is supposed to be a bit more rotund, if you would.
He could play several of these roles though.
Yeah. Also, he's supposed to have like a giant fucking like walrus mustache.
Yeah.
That they just decided to cut out.
Well, that was probably just easier.
Probably was easier, but I want at least him to have a mustache.
A mustache.
I mean, I'm just thinking of several characters he could play very well.
Mm-hmm. But that's
it's a
gonna be my pick.
good spot for him though.
Gotcha. I think that's going to wrap up part 1. Mm-hmm. We're right at the 30-minute mark. We're going to leave this one be a shorter episode because if not, I think we're going to run into like an hour long.
And the next one's going to be like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think if we cut it off right here, that'll be a good place to stop. Mm-hmm. And we'll catch you on part 2. So we thank you guys for listening. We hope that you will join us on the next one as we'll look over the rest of them. And I see even more Game of Thrones people for mine, I think. Mm-hmm. No, I don't. That was Guardians of the Galaxy. There was a Game of Thrones and Guardians of the Galaxy, and I seen both of the GOTs and was like, oh. So we appreciate you guys listening. If you want to find more of us, you can use the link tree in our description. It will take you to our Facebook, our Instagram. You can even find a link to our Discord, and you can join us there and tell us how shitty our picks are. And there's supposed to be a TikTok on there, but I don't think I've added it yet, and we haven't made a TikTok in probably a year. Or close. No, it's been less than a year.
It's coming up on it, though.
Yeah.
Being the summer.
So, like I said, for the 3rd time, we appreciate you guys listening, and we hope you join us on the next one.
Deuce.
Bye.